Hello, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to Lira in Law. Today, the 18th of July, 2024. And what a week it's been. Sorry, I missed last week. So we have lots to catch up on. So ang pangalan ko po, Lira Simon Kabatbat. I am a solicitor. For the new viewers, I am a solicitor who has been qualified for over 30 years. I've been doing this now a long time. And of course, we are broadcasting live, absolutely live, from London, England today, the 18th of July. So welcome po to Lira and Law, our usual Thursday broadcast. Now, apart from last week, which I'm so sorry I missed. So we have lots to catch up on. Gosh, what a two weeks lang, 2 weeks lang. So many things have happened. Of course, we have a new government. The Labour Party won, and so they're now in government. Mr. Trump was nearly assassinated a few days ago. And summer has finally arrived. For the first time this year, if you hear that, the kind of buzzing noise, that's my fan going in the background. And I'm so happy I have to use it because it's warmer today. It's the first time kahapon din. It was warm, but today it was definitely warm. We're really busy. We're really busy. Marami tayong pag-uusapan, and we have so many questions also. So it's going to be. I'll try and fit it all in. Absolutely. Now, ang topic po natin tonight. It's the first part of a 3-part series. I like doing these series because I think it allows me to elaborate a little bit more about the mga topics natin. So it's challenging, refusals So we're going to be looking at a 3-part series, as I say. First one, which is today, challenging a spouse refusal. This is always a popular topic. And then pangalawa, next week po, challenging a visit visa refusal. Again, a very popular topic because that happens so often. And then pangatlo, the third week is what is judicial review. You always hear about appealing, but it's not always available to you, appealing. So titingnan natin what is judicial review. So it's 3-part series. So hopefully you can join me for all of them Now, I'm not going to go on too much. I'm not going to talk too much because we have lots to tackle. We're just going to take a quick break and then come back, join me, and we're going to launch into challenging a spouse refusal. Saglit lang po. Welcome back to Lira in Law, broadcasting live from London, England, today, the 18th of July. And as I said earlier, we have lots to do. We have big topics anyway. We definitely have a big topic now today. First of 3 series, and also lots and lots of questions. So without further ado, let's crack on with it. So ang pag-uusapan po natin ngayon is challenging a spouse refusal. Now, I've been wanting to tackle this topic for a while, but the problem I've always had is there's so many different possibilities, different facts rather, and I couldn't really I didn't know how best to fit it in, and it occurred to me what you want really, is to see it in action. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So we certainly will deal with pag-usapan natin mga batas. Of course, I will make reference to it, and where I can elaborate on the relevant provisions. But titingnan natin to, we're going to apply the law to the facts, and we're going to choose, or I've chosen the if you like, the most complex scenario. Okay, and one that is quite common nga, even though it's quite complex. So, so challenging a spouse refusal. Spouse means, of course, kasal nga kayo. A partner can also mean a partner, unmarried partner, that's also a possibility. But really, focus nga natin ngayon is challenging a spouse refusal. So someone you are married to. Spouse, that's an assumption nga sa akin. Certain assumptions we're making in the beginning, that you are married, you're validly married. Ang pag-uusapan nga natin the refusal, it can be an in or out country nga application, but really we're going to focus on in-country applications where they've had refusals nga, so it could be anything. So spouse refusals can be anything like you made an application from abroad, you refused on, say, income, no? Or you make an application in country, you want to switch from something else like work to a spouse, that was refused again for whatever reason. They had concerns about, I know, accommodation, for example. But the most complex situation is where you say, nandito na nga kayo, you made an application, but you don't have a visa anymore, for example, or you have a visa that does not allow switching. So that is actually what we're going to tackle today. So that's why I'm saying this is a big topic. It's quite complex, but bear with me. And if this is your situation, make sure you tune in. Kung meron kayong makilala, mga kaibigan, kamag-anak who find themselves in this rather unfortunate situation, then again, pass this on. Okay? So, tingnan natin scenario. So let me set the scene, as they say. No? The appellant, dati, ang tawag sa inyo, the applicant, so but because you had refusal, you're looking to appeal, then you are called an appellant, no, rather than an applicant. Sabihin natin, pumasok siya dito sa UK quite properly, and then became an overstayer, no? So wala na nga siyang visa, or otherwise TNT, no? So no visa application was made until recently, and then that application was then refused. Okay, the application was made. So nung applicant pa nga siya, she made an application under the family private life route. Okay, because of the relationship nga with the husband or the wife in the UK who settled in the United Kingdom. So it's someone British or someone with indefinite leave to remain. Okay? Now, the Home Office looked at the application and then refused the application. Tapos sabi nila, okay, you have a right of appeal, and you can exercise this right of appeal. Tip 1, you have 14 days only. 14 days po, calendar days, not just working days. So, and they're strict with that. If you miss the deadline, then you can still appeal, but you would need to apply for permission to appeal. So don't miss the deadline. Because otherwise it makes an already complex situation even more complex. Now, if you are if you're abroad, you're making an application to the UK and that application was refused, then you have 28 days. Pero kung nandito nga kayo, it's 14 days na lang, 14 days strict deadline, okay, to appeal. Don't forget to put in your appeal. Now, what would you normally get if you've had a refusal? Okay, and this is in dealing with this scenario, it is a scenario that I come across regularly. So this is a scenario that happens in reality. So what often I see in the Home Office refusal letter, yung tawag refusal letter, they will likely say, and I'll read to you a section nga, no, from as I say, real case nga. So they do not accept, galing to sa Home Office sulat nila, no? They do not accept, for example, that the appellant met the eligibility relationship requirement because she or indeed he is in breach of immigration law. So, for example, overstayer na nga. Okay? It's just the Home Office's way of saying you're an overstayer, you do not meet the usual conditions. Okay, the usual conditions for a spouse would be far easier to actually satisfy, but because wala na nga siyang visa nung nagpasok niyang application, different rules are looked at, different provisions will apply, and they are harder. Okay? Now, what will the Home Office look at? No, so they will. Those of you who found yourselves in this unfortunate position, you will remember this reference to what's called EX1 of Appendix FM. I'll just zoom through it. No, so basically they're looking for evidence of what they call insurmountable obstacles. No, that's in accordance with EX2. No, and they often say dito galing din sa Home Office that the appellant and her partner could continue family life in the whatever country, sabihin natin Pilipinas, no? Or that her partner, asawa nga niya, or his partner would be able to support her financially and emotionally from the United Kingdom. So they can pursue a family life elsewhere. Kung nasa Pilipinas nga, galing sa Pilipinas, or anywhere else. No? Now, separately, the Home Office will then say that there are no exceptional circumstances, okay, which would render refusal in breach of what they call Article 8. Article 8 is right to family, private life under the European Court of Human Rights. Or they may say unjustifiably harsh consequences or no unjustifiably harsh consequences for the appellant or family. Do not be overwhelmed by the legal jargon. It just means they don't accept that there are exceptional circumstances that should warrant a grant dahil wala na kayong visa, no? Now, what's often not in dispute, so you have a long letter of refusal, often going on at least 6 pages nga. And I would say 75%, if not higher, of what's noted are in fact not in dispute. So they accept it, the Home Office. So for example, they may accept, that is the Home Office, otherwise known as respondent in appeal, accept that the relationship is genuine, okay? And they will say so. They accept that, that the relationship is genuine and subsisting. They may also accept that the practical things such as financial support or accommodations, bahay nga, is satisfied. So in the olden days, and of course, if the application was made prior to, so say last year rather than this year, then it would be 18,600 limit rather than the now 29,000 pound limit. So a lot of my appeals, for example, usually, because it takes a long time for the appeal to come through, usually it would be the old limit, which was the 18,600, which was the law that was applicable at the time. Okay. Now, a main issue though, so let me go back into the problems now. No, main issue often is the insurmountable obstacles or the exceptional circumstances or unjustifiably harsh circumstances that you need to satisfy under this Appendix FMEX2 or indeed Article 8, the Human Rights Act. No? Now, what do you do? How do you counter that? Okay? Kung yun ang problema, exceptional circumstances ka lang ipakita o kaya, as I say, unjustifiably harsh, how do you counter that? And that is actually that can be quite daunting sa mga kliyente ko. I mean, how do we show that? No? How do we prove na it is exceptional? It is, yung kaso namin is warrants this warrants grant because it's exceptional and justifiably harsh. Now, one answer to that, or rather, the main thing is documents. Kailangan yung ihanda. So it's preparation, but really it is documents. Quality of documents. Another tip po, quality, not quantity. Okay. I've seen appeals prepared where, or indeed applications nga, nagpasok yung kliyente ko, yung abogado nga nila, 20 letters, for example. All the same. No? Iba-iba nga lang taong pumirma. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. They don't like that, and that's not, frankly, helpful to the judge. If you're going to provide documents in support, better to have 2 good ones, no, different ones, sasabihin nga and substantially says, kilala namin siya, we know the relationship is genuine, they're devoted to each other, she's looking after the children of the spouse, for example. So yun, kilala nga kayo. Better to have less and have substantive points to put forward than many and exactly the same, because otherwise they'll just get bored. You know? So really quality of documents. Now, Of course, before the appeal hearing, before the if it's an oral appeal, especially, you need to submit the documents in advance. You upload it. I won't go through the process now because I want to concentrate on practical things nga. Now, unang-una, practical thing is, and this is often missed out by clients and sometimes nga even representatives, new matters. Okay, so kung nagpasok kayo ng application, na-refuse nga yung application nyo, tapos kailangan yung dagdagan. Hindi nga lang yung to support your case before, so up-to-date documents, for example, up-to-date bank statements, hindi yon, but new matter. So sabihin natin, in the interim, your spouse became sick, no? Not just a cold, no, but actually illness, no, condition nga, or nanganak kayo. So all those things may be considered by the Home Office as new matters. Now, why is that important? It's important because there's case law to say the Home Office need to agree for new matters to be brought, to be discussed at court, no, to be part of the proceedings. If they say no to the new matter being brought up at court, then the judge does not even have the possibility of saying no. Home Office, they have to deal with this. So where you have new matters, tip ko ito. If you know, you would normally know it's a new matter because you haven't submitted it in advance. Write to the Home Office. They're going to review your case anyway before the hearing. They have to do that as part of the process. But write to them and say to them, look, this is a new matter. These are documents in support of my new matter. Can you please confirm that this will be dealt with at court? Now, importante po yun dahil nga, otherwise, you're precluded from dealing with it at court. And if it's important, obviously you want it dealt with. Or the matter is then adjourned. So the judge will say, well, I can't hear it. They're saying no to the new matter. So the Home Office will need to look at it, they need to review it afresh, and then we have a hearing. And if you have solicitors and you have barristers, that costs money, an adjournment. So tell them in advance. Okay. It could be that you can say, look, if you don't hear from the Home Office, it could be that you then write to the tribunal. Another tip, no, in advance of the final hearing, sabihin nyo, there's a new matter. Can we have a small hearing, a case management hearing, ang tawag nga, when the judge will consider whether the new information, the new matter, because it could be that the judge says, well, for the new matter, you need not necessarily bank statements, but medical report, all that, you see. But more importantly, for the Home Office to accept that it's a new matter, that it will be dealt with. So it's quite, I'm always surprised at how it's missed out, no, even by solicitors also. So beware new matters, okay? Now, witness statements. For goodness sake, prepare good witness statements. There's no point being just melodramatic about it. You'll just bore them. The judge will just, you will just annoy the judge. They want to, of course, you can say, how you feel, but it should not be 90% how you feel. You need to back it up also. So always prepare a statement for you and your partner, on a spouse, a spouse appeal. Importante po yun. So, and you need to be factual and back it up. So if you're saying that you're earning, 29,000 pounds or 18,600 pounds, which was the old limit provide your pay slips, provide your bank statements. Kailangan makita, hindi nga lang pay slips. They want to see that money is actually going into your account. There has to be that connection. Okay, so but always prepare a statement. The reason being, they always go back to it. When you give evidence at court, you give oral evidence. The judge will normally not ask you everything. They can't, otherwise the hearing will last a week. They can't ask always. So ang una nilang titingnan is yung statement mo. Are there points that they want to raise? Or later on, if the judge is wants to be reminded about certain things na sinabi nyo, the judge will always go back to your statement. So I cannot stress enough, how important statements are. And I do mean statements, no? Hindi nga lang sulat. And that should also apply to witnesses, even if they're potentially not coming to give evidence, because it's more formal. No? Statements should start with, I, and ang pangalan nyo, address nyo nga, and make the statement knowing the same to be true, and then explain, who are you? Don't forget also, make sure that you have evidence of your ID. If you're the spouse nga, make sure you have your passport with you in case the judge wants to see the original passport. And if it's a remote hearing, you can always show it to the camera. Okay, but it's important you have ID. If you have witnesses, again, they must bring their ID. Again, a practical tip, because they may not accept that your witness is who they say they are. And how do you prove that? If they have a driving license with their photo and also and passports. Passports the easiest thing. So you have that along with the witness statements now. Okay. Now, apart from witness statements, what else can you put forward? Country-specific reports. Okay. Now, if you go on the Home Office website, meron kayong makikita country reports. So there may be, not all countries would have a country report, but there may be, I know there are country reports, say for the Philippines, it will say there, what's the health system like, for example, information about divorce or the lack of divorce. So those things you can download, and you can include that also in your bundle. Importante nga yun, because that again is something that the judge will go back to. So if you're saying may sakit ang asawa ko, hindi kami pwedeng bumalik nga sa Pilipinas, dahil sa Pilipinas is not going to be entitled to assistance. Why do you say that? How do you back it up? And again, the country-specific report may well help with that. Now, alongside that, they also have Home Office policy documents. Iba po yun. Again, that's on the Home Office website. So the Home Office policy documents, for example, would say if a country is deemed to be dangerous, if you are advised not actually to go to that country. And that, again, is helpful. And as I say, what's the health system like? Now, again, back this up. It could be na kailangan yung report. If you need a report, then of course you need to instruct someone who is an expert in that field. So kung nasa Pilipinas ngayon, kung galing kayo sa Pilipinas and you want an expert report on the health system there, then you probably need to instruct someone who actually is very familiar with the health system in the Philippines. We'll talk about PhilHealth and entitlement insurance, how costly it is, all of those. So again, back it up. Kung sabi ng Home Office is that the family can help you out with accommodation, marami kayong pamilya sa atin. Again, try and counter that with statements. So kung sabi ba nila, apat ang anak nyo o tatlong anak nyo, who can help you out, where do they live? If they live in a place that's not suitable for you, o kaya sa kanila din, take photos, prepare a statement sa kanila nga din, to say dito nga sila nakatira, their asawa nga nila nandun din, mga anak nila 3, 4, 5, there's just no space nga for you. So again, counter it. Tingnan nyo maigi yung refusal. What are they saying? And then prepare your case accordingly. Another thing also that can be helpful, again, practical tip nga is how long is it taking for applications to be dealt with? Okay, I know in the Philippines, if you have a background, actually even if you don't have a background, you're looking at least 6 months, for oftentimes for entry clearance applications. It could be longer if there's a background. In some cases, well, if it's not a question of a background as in a failed appeal, then it could be that you can make an application on a priority service. But if you have an appeal, that means you've had a refusal, that means you have immigration background, you can't make use of the priority service. So you're looking at 6 months minimum, likely longer than that. Is that going to impact on your family life. So kung may sakit yung asawa niyo, nandito siya, wala namang mag-aalaga, how's the care going to be provided? Because 6 months can be crucial to someone quite unwell. Certainly 1 year can make a difference, life and death type thing. So again, it's important nga na pakita nyo nga din yun. What is the, you can see that also on the Home Office website. Makikita nyo doon, they have time estimates, how long an application will take. And I can tell you this now, it's if they say 3 months, you can easily double that. If they, especially nga kung meron kayong background. Now, also, again, this is a tip, would you satisfy the Home Office, the immigration rules, if it were not for the immigration background that you have, so kung hindi nga kayo overstay, would you otherwise satisfy it? So the immigration rules provide for spouse applications nga, income must be 18,600 in the past, now 29,000. There must be accommodation. You must be able to speak English. You need to be able to show a genuine subsisting relationship. So all those things, do you tick those boxes? Because if you do, and there are exceptional circumstances, case law say that it should not be an automatic thing that you then refuse. Okay, so if you satisfy the immigration rules, say that also. Deal with it also in your statement. Ang income ng asawa ko ito. I've done the A1 English language test, and if you haven't, you should. Because otherwise it's difficult to also show that you can speak, you can satisfy, or you do satisfy the level of English na kailangan nila. And income, as I say, provide payslips, provide bank statements, contract of employment. So all those things need to be provided. Beware, again, I mean, a little bit of law, but it's a practical issue. If you're faced with this situation, kailangan yung tignan Section 117B, 4B actually. So it says there, kung wala kayong visa and your relationship started nung wala na nga kayong visa, that section says that little weight must be accorded to a relationship with a qualifying partner, which was established at the time when the appellant was in the country unlawfully. So kung overstayer nga kayo and you started your relationship when you were an overstayer, Section 117B says little weight. But it does not mean no weight at all, okay? It must still be accorded some weight. So it doesn't mean that it counts for nothing. And again, Article 8, as I say, ang kaso nyo, removal will be disproportionate and will result nga in unjustifiably harsh consequences if it does not lead nga to a grant of visa. So all those things, you need to deal with in documents. So as I say, how do you, oftentimes by mga kliyente ko, how do we prove that? How do we deal with this exceptional circumstance and the undue hardship, insurmountable obstacles? How do we counter that? Answer is documents and preparation. But it really just boils down to documents. And make sure that you in just practical tips that you're not late for your hearing. Okay, lots of people are the cases are really all listed at 10 o'clock. Hindi nyo nga lang alam who's going to get dealt with first. So you should not be late. Nevertheless, make sure you check a week before that kung kailangan yung interpreter, that you have an interpreter nga ready, and that you tick the relevant box, on the appeal form. Especially important nga, I mean, even in remote hearings, but certainly in in-person hearings nga, dress smartly, okay? Because it's of course, you will not lose your case just because you're wearing jeans, but I do think it sets the tone. Make sure that you are that you're properly attired, that you're showing the court the respect, and it should be the case because the court should be respected. So yung nga, again, it's a question of showing showing the court and the judge that you're taking this seriously, because the people too, no, they form opinions, and they look at you and they ask you questions also directly. So you want to you want to get them on, if you like, on your side. But I mean, they are independent, but you don't want to necessarily make a bad impression. No. So again, just it's smart casual. You have to go in. You don't. I'm not saying go into it in tux or but 3-piece suit. It doesn't have to be that way. But just properly attired. So all that preparation hopefully will then mean that you will successfully challenge and win. Your spouse refusal. And if you do, what will then happen is the judge normally will not give the decision there and then. They will normally say, okay, I'll make I'll provide you with my decision in writing. It may take them 2 weeks to do so. I'm astonished at the moment that it's taking far less than 2 weeks. A couple of cases that I had recently took 1 day. Well, a weekend actually. Had the hearing, had a couple of hearings on a Friday. I got the decision on the Monday. Astonishing. So it can be as quick as that. And if you win it and they don't challenge, that is the Home Office. They have 14 days to challenge if they want to challenge, and you too have 14 days to challenge if you lose it. It just means that you can then they will then simply grant you a visa. It could be that you need to do your biometric again, but then you should have a visa. So look, kung nangyari nga ito sa inyo, you've made an application, you had a refusal, do not be disheartened, really. That's the starting point. You can potentially appeal it, and if you do appeal it, it could be that you win it. But to win it, you need to prepare your case well. And how do you do that? What's the starting point? Documents. Okay? I cannot emphasize that enough. You need to be prepared now with your documents and the other practical things. As I say, kailangan yung interpreter, by all means get an interpreter. Libre nga, no interpreter, okay? That's something provided nga by the court. And just make sure that everything is uploaded. Bear in mind, sabi ko nga kanina, new matters, no? Now, I hope that was helpful to you. And as I say, I tried and I will try, certainly in this series nga natin, the 3-part series nga natin, to be focusing on practical stuff, because I think that's really what you want to hear from me about. Now, okay, so I think we're going to go into our Batian section, which I missed last week. I always say this because it's so true. It's my favorite part of the show, Bati. And hopefully you didn't forget me just because I wasn't there. I wasn't around last week, So let's see kung may babati sa atin, hopefully, Sandali. Oh, Egay, the guy. Oh, we love him. We love Egay, the guy, Hot Thursday, sabi po niya to Attorney Lira, and to the viewers, Work from home today and taking care of Justin. Justin is his little boy. Well, he's not little. He's a big boy now. Looking forward to lots of learning again, and to Attorney Lira's lovely voice, Egay, the guy. We love Egay. A few weeks back, I know I said this before, but a few weeks back, he helped me out. He was actually part of our show. So if you want to see him in person rather than the small photograph there, go back a few weeks and you'll see him. Okay. Now, tingnan natin if there's someone else. Oh, someone called Outcast. That's new. Good evening, Attorney Lira. Nice to see your program. Well, thank you very much. I love the nickname Outcast. That sounds ominous. Oh, Miss Gilling. Oh, I like this picture of her. Hello, good evening po. Happy Thursday, ma'am, and to all viewers. Miss Gilling. I always say this, but because it's true, she is lovely. Ang buong pamilya niya, so hardworking. They are they're one of my favorite people, actually. They're really, really lovely. Arya Francisco, magandang gabi po sa lahat. Oh, wow, what a photo. Wow, kita niya, photo niya. Oh, gosh. Oh, Miss Rafael, I was thinking about you, Miss Rafael, during Wimbledon, Hello, good evening, Attorney Lira sabi niya. And everyone, happy Thursday to all and enjoy the show. And she's feeling good because she's all in caps. Yeah, so I hope everyone's left. Well, not everyone's left, but Wimbledon is quiet again. No, Mr. Rafael. Hopefully, you're enjoying the quiet because everyone descended on Wimbledon. Well, only a few weeks back. Actually, I queued up. Mr. Rafael. So I was queuing up, and it was raining. Anyway, so it's nevertheless, I had a good time. Had a great time actually. Oh, May Tigbao Vargas. I love that picture. Hello, sabi po niya, no? And good evening, Attorney Lira. And to all viewers, happy Thursday. Watching from Exeter, Devon. May, I'm so jealous of you. Devon in sunny weather. Must be great. Must be great. Yeah, so Edgar! We love Edgar. Edgar Duay. I got so excited there because we love him. No? Edgar Duay, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Sir, how are you? How are you? Oh, he's looking sharp there, no? Yeah, he's looking sharp. I hope you're well, no? Not working too hard. He's always working hard. He's so talented, Edgar. He's so talented. The man's like he plays like, I don't know, 20 million musical instruments. I've not heard him sing, but I suspect he can also sing well. All talents I do not have, sadly. So kamusta, no? Kamusta na po nanonood, no? Attorney Lira, maayong gabi and salamat sa dagdag kaalaman, sabi niya. Oh, we love him, no? It's so nice. Maligayang kaarawan. Oh, para kay Sonny Laragan nung Lunes. Yeah, no, we love Sonny too, no? Kailan birthday mo, Attorney? Hindi ko alam. January, sir. January. So, winter time ang birthday ko. It's so I've just had it. Oh, I say had it, but still, 6 months ago, no? I'm trying to forget my birthdays, frankly, because it's tanda ko na, no? Marilyn Jones, no? Miss Jones, she's lovely. Good evening, Attorney Lira, and everyone watching. No, Miss Jones is a great dancer. No, a few years back, I had the pleasure of watching her. Plus, her colleagues, do a dance routine. She's great. Now, okay, so yung pong batian natin. Now, normally we would have a commercial about this time, but ang dami nating mga questions. So rather than having a commercial, we're going to give that a miss and we'll launch into our many questions. Okay? So that's unang nating question to. So sabi po niya, hello po. Tanong lang po ako sa Schengen visa. I have a 6-month multiple entry Schengen visa which I applied for in France. I already went to France. Nakabalik na po kami in UK. And now I'm planning to go to Italy this March. Oh, lucky. Do I have to enter France first before entering Italy? Or is it okay lang po to enter Italy directly? Thank you. No, you don't need to go through to France before entering Italy because the Schengen visa you can use directly to Italy. And if you decide actually, no, you're going to go to Italy and Germany, they're also part of the Schengen agreement. You can do that. So you don't need to go through France again. Have a good time. Let me know how you get on. No, I'm so jealous. I wish I were traveling. So there you go. Now, tingnan natin. Next question po natin. Okay. Good day to all. No, I have a question that confuses me. That's why I really need some advice. I'm a British citizen and have 2 kids on a family visa. I claimed for universal credit kasi po medyo kinukulang budget lately. It happens, no? I just got my first payment at naalala ko po about no access to public funds. Bigla po nga lang kinabahan and the question circling in my mind is maapektuhan ba ang ILR application ng mga kids ko in the future due to this? Now, don't stress too much. You are entitled, because British ka nga, to universal credit. So you can claim it, no? But beware that you also need to show that you can provide for the children without recourse to public funds. So the fact that ngayon nga lang you had to claim it, I wouldn't stress too much about it. But be careful when they're looking to make an application for indefinite leave to remain. Okay, because at that point, titingnan nga ng Home Office, can you actually provide for them without recourse to public funds? But you're entitled, so it's fine, no? Okay, so let me just see. I think we have some more questions. I think we have lots of questions, no? Question po nga, again is, we know how hard it is to bring someone in the Philippines here to the UK. I'm sending this message to ask you about the best possible path or thing we can do. Possible po bang magpadala ng kamag-anak from Pinas papunta dito sa UK? Like for example, my sister. If yes, what are the possible paths na pwede niyang i-try? No? Thank you in advance. Now, this is the I get this kind of question a lot, and it's really perhaps the not quite the right way nga of starting off. Ang una nga, you need to see ano bang gusto niyang gawin. And then from that you decide nga what are the paths available. So, yung kapatid mo, kung pupasok nga siya dito, gusto nga lang yung bumisita, wala siyang qualifications, or at least not ones that they're looking for here to work, then of course it's visit visa. Kung meron siyang qualifications, because that of course is possibility, na gusto niyang magtrabaho nga dito, then it would be a work-based visa. In the olden days, it was work permit, and then it was tier 2. Ngayon, tawag na is skilled worker route, no? So, decide first, ano bang gagawin niya? No? And as I say, if bibisita nga lang, then absolutely it should be then a visit visa. So that would be really how you decide the reason for entry. There's no one if you like option nga that would be easier than the others in that sense. It's more a question of anong plano, and then from there you choose. It should be like that. Okay. Now, let's have a look. So I'm pretty sure we have some more questions. Okay. Okay, ito po. Now, I'm a bit confused. Now, our next question, viewer says, I'm a bit confused with the data provided online. Well, that's not unusual actually, because it can be very confusing, information online. Hope you can help me po. I got my skilled worker visa already. Okay. May nabasa po ako na need kong pumasok ng UK within 28 days na ma-release ang visa. Na-release mo kasi noong June 28. Okay, so last month nga. Hindi po bang within 1 month makapasok ako sa UK? Sa mismong visa ko, valid siya for 90 days. Nalilito nga lang po ako dahil sinasabi po ng Google na need po makapasok in the UK within a month or else ma-expire daw ang sponsorship. Now, you can apply for a visa. I think this is where the confusion comes about, no? You can, for work visa, no? You can apply for a visa for up to 3 months before the day you're due to start work in the UK. That's probably where you got that from, no? This date is listed on your certificate of sponsorship, yung cost na binigay galing sa employer. Yung visa mo mismo, the Vignet visa, you know, that's usually valid for 28 days. Makikita mo doon sa yun nakatatak sa passport mo. You need to enter the United Kingdom before that expires, and that usually nga is 28 days. So the 90 days, as I say, is normally a reference to when you should make the application, the 90 days. But be careful also if you delay. Of course, you've been given the visa nga to pursue employment. If you are delaying it, then it could be that your employer becomes very unhappy. Okay? So again, be careful with any kind of delay. Kung ako, when I get asked this question quite a bit actually by clients nga, ang payo ko, enter as soon as you possibly can. Okay, that way there are no concerns with regard to immigration, but importantly also is your employer nyo. Okay? So you're on. Now, I know we have more questions, so let me just go on to the next one. I'm racing through it because I want to deal with all the questions, no? Okay. Next question was to do with actually relationship, no? Which is linked nga with our question, with our topic nga kanina. So my British boyfriend, sabi niya, and I have been dating for 2 years already. Okay. Balak po namin mag-apply ng dependent visa, probably spouse, okay, or unmarried partner visa. Do you think possible po? He's capable to provide at may savings din naman po ako personally sa akin. We're also working on professional jobs. He visited me here in the Philippines twice, and I can say po na mag-prove na yung credibility yung relationship namin. No? We're both single by law, and we're both 29 years of age. Wow, to be 29 again. I'm jealous. Anyway, let me not talk about our age too much, no? Now, let's tackle first nga yung unmarried partner route. The unmarried partner route means hindi nga kay kasal, but they're treating you like a spouse. And you would get exactly nga the same visa. The conditions are exactly the same. Yung nga lang hindi kayo kasal. But that's actually not as easy as you think. No? The rules provide that you need to be able to show that you are in a relationship akin to marriage, so like a marriage. Now, sabi mo nga dito, you're dating. Dating is quite different from, obviously, relationship like a marriage. So, kung you're emailing, you're texting each other nga, you go on Facebook, WhatsApp and all of that, and binibisita nga, albeit only twice, that may not be actually enough to be considered under the unmarried partner route successfully. By that, so let me give you an example. No, when I'm advising clients under this, you usually say to them, okay, kung nagsasama kayo, even better. But that I appreciate that's not always a possibility. And now the law changed, so you don't necessarily need to show living together, but you still need to show a relationship like a marriage. So what the Home Office normally would want to see is yung bahay nyo, no? Does that belong to you? Does that belong to your partner nga? Nagpapadala ba siya? Nagpapadala ka ba? No? The bills, do you have joint accounts? So they want to see what you would normally expect nga dito between husband and wife. So maybe joint accounts together, a home that you share, children, of course, good. But yung background mo, I'm getting the feeling you're dating. No? So if you're dating, then unmarried partner route is probably not actually the way forward. Now, you didn't say though, fiance. No? You can look at fiance. Yung big sabihin dito kay kakasal. No? But the problem with fiance visa is it's only for 6 months. Hindi ka pwede magtrabaho during that time. But of course, pagka nandito ka na, you can make an application for spouse visa, swapping it over. But until you get the spouse visa, hindi ka pwede magtrabaho. As you're both single, you should consider getting married. No? And then making an application to come into the United Kingdom as a spouse. Okay? And kailangan yung pakita nga that you satisfy all the relevant requirements. If you care to look at what those requirements are, they are contained in what's called Appendix FM. Doon nakalista. Makikita nyo doon English language, which I'm sure is not going to be an issue for you because it's A1 level nga lang naman. Income is £29,000 now, okay? Spouse income niya, okay? £29,000 before tax. And because that changed now nga. Accommodation in the United Kingdom, because you're coming from the Philippines, you need to provide a negative tuberculosis certificate. Beware, not for all clinics. No, I think there are 4 or 5 clinics in the Philippines that would they're authorized to provide the certificates. You can book. No, they're fairly quick also. So all those things, at saka may bahay nga kayo dito o may bahay siya dito natitira nyo. You don't even he doesn't need to own it, but it needs to be you need to show that you can occupy that property too. So it's the takeaway from this really is relationship must be like a marriage if you're going under the unmarried partner route, and that's quite different from dating. Otherwise, absolutely, if you want to marry, get married nga, and just beware of those conditions. Appendix FM nandoon, okay? If you have a look, Google it. Okay. Now, meron pa tayong mga questions. I am sure. Sandali. Okay. Right. Okay. So, the question natin, dami, no? Yeah. Good evening to all who's watching this program. That's nice. Yeah? Sana po ma-help niyo with my question. Dual citizen po ako dito sa UK and the Philippines. I was once married here in the UK, but but hindi ko na-report sa Philippine Embassy ang marriage ko dito sa UK. So, ang status ko po sa Pinas is single. My question now is, kung gusto kong magpakasal sa Pinas in the future, pwede po ba ako magpakasal? If yes, ano pong mga documents na kailangan ko? Thanks in advance. Now, unang-una, it doesn't matter kung saan ka kinasal, no? You need to get rid of, and it doesn't even matter if you reported it to the Philippine Embassy or not. You need to get married, you need to divorce, you need to get rid of that marriage first, okay? Otherwise, you are committing bigamy. Yeah? So you need to be rid of that marriage. You need divorce in the United Kingdom. Pagka-divorce ka na, if you want to get married in the Philippines, then you can do that. But you must do that. You need to divorce in the UK first before you enter into a new marriage. It matters not if you reported it or not. Importante yun, because bigamy, of course, is a criminal offense. Now, and I think we have some more questions. So sandali nga lang, let me have a look at the next question. Okay, I'm processing my fiancé visa for the first time. I'm sending these questions to a solicitor, that would be me, to make sure I won't miss anything. Okay. Ang schedule po ng biometric course next week, 24th of July. Okay. Need ko bang hard copy ng lahat ng documents, including proof of relationship? What should I bring? Maraming salamat. Now, unang-una, if you're that worried, you must seek proper advice. No, just rely on this, because kailangan na, ako mga kliyente ko, I always say to them, I need to see all the documents. If you don't want to miss anything, you must seek proper advice. But I'm happy to at least have a go at your question. Now, all the documents that you're relying on should by now have been uploaded. Okay, so if you remember, napasok ng application, you would then have it then provides you the possibility of uploading your documents. It should all have been uploaded now. If they've been all uploaded, then you don't need the original documents, the hard copies, because it's already there. So when you go, they will see, okay, itong mga documents is all there. The only thing you definitely will need, though, is your passport. Okay, don't forget your passport. Yeah, if you have more than one, bring all of them. Importante nga yun, okay? But otherwise, everything else should be uploaded. So the only thing that will happen is they'll take a photo of you, they'll take your fingerprints, they'll take your passport. They will take your passport, okay? Because that kailangan tatakan ng visa, no? And then you hopefully will get delivered that, or you potentially would pick it up, and hopefully it has the fiancé visa. Good luck. Yeah, keep us informed actually. Now, I think we have could potentially one more question. I'm racing through it, no, because I want to get deal with all the questions. Now, question po ito. So, my visa expiration is 14th of August. Ooh, that's soon actually. Nagbayad na po ako ng visa at IHS fee. Ang biometric ko po is the 3rd of September 2024. Is it okay pa ba? Hindi ba ako magkakaproblema? Thanks a lot. Yeah, no. So, ito. Pagka nagpasok kayo ng application, so, kung matatapos ng visa nyo, ang pinaka-importante, ipasok nyo yung application bago matatapos. Dahil nagbayad ka na ng visa fee at IHS, it means you already submitted your application. And that should have been submitted, of course, prior to the 14th of August. So, pinasok mo na nga ngayon. 14th of August is obviously another month or so away. You're fine. So kung yung biometric mo is not until September 2024, you're still fine. They look at the date that you submitted your application online, not the biometric. So kahit nga tapos na yung visa mo, by the time you do your biometric, you're not then an overstayer. Importante nga lang that you obviously, as I was saying before, no, you make sure you upload nga your documents obviously prior to your biometric. And alam mo naman, it sounds like you've done this before, so they will take a photo of you and your fingerprints nga. But don't worry, it should be fine. It should be fine. Now, I don't know if we have any more questions. It could be that wala na tayong questions. Wait a minute. The guy. We can always count on him to ask really pertinent questions, no? Hi, Attorney Lira, sabi niya, no? Yung minimum requirement na sweldo, 28,000 pounds, pagka hindi kaya ng spouse here, ma-refuse ba agad? Hindi talaga kaya. Unfortunately, it's not 28, 29, so it's even worse, no? Before tax. Kung hindi kaya, there is actually, I'm so glad you raised this, Egay, dahil nga, it's one of the few if you like, scenarios where the Home Office can exercise their discretion in your favor. No? So, kung hindi nga sapat, pero sabihin natin, may sakit yung asawa, and that's potentially why hindi nga siya pwede magtrabaho, no, to earn 29,000 pounds, o may mga bata, no, na inaalagaan nga, then it could be that they would exercise their discretion nevertheless. In your favor, and even though hindi nga sapat na 29, you can still get a visa. But it's for you to show that they should exercise their discretion. Now, what would also be helpful is, sabihin natin kung meron siyang mga biyenan nga, no, na generous in-laws who are happy to provide, say, support or accommodation. No? Again, put that forward. So it's not necessarily an absolute no. So there's a possibility of discretion. Pero yung nga, kailangan nilang sabihin why should the discretion be exercised. They need to evidence it. As I say, support from family members or from friends nga, accommodation free provided that's free of charge. And as I say, illness, why it is that the spouse can't work to earn 29,000 pounds. That's nga, no? And for those of you who keeping track now of changes in immigration, as you know, initially what was proposed was 38,700. So it's actually that they lowered it to 29,000 pounds is good news already. So 29,000 pounds. That's nga, no? But there you go. I don't know if we have any more questions. So sandali natin. It could be that may be the last question natin. And what the question? The guy is always thinks. Yeah, he's astonishingly he's so engaged, no, with current law and current events. It's impressive. So sandali, tingnan ko nga, I think that is it, questions natin. Now, so I raced through that because I wanted so desperately to deal nga with all the questions, and I hope I did. Now, but as usual, kung meron kayong mga additional questions or you want me to follow up on certain things, email me, no? Any questions, contact us via our Facebook, no? Or email me at lirainlaw@douglas-simon.com. Visit our website nga, no, for more information. But otherwise, salamat po. Thank you for keeping me company. Special thanks, as usual, po to Facebook group admins, Filipino community group, for allowing us to post our videos and contents on their group. Salamat po. Much appreciated, no? So I hope that you enjoyed that. The first topic in our series of 3, which is all to do with challenging the Home Office, Home Office's negative decisions. So next week, big topic natin, no? Challenging visit visa applications. But otherwise, I hope you have a great week. Thank you again for joining me at Lira in Law. I'm your host, Lira Simon Kabatbat, signing off for now. See you next week, same time, same place. Good night.